Okay, so I'm going to stop recording because there's nothing else that that we can add. Well, I'm not going to stop recording because there's always something that comes up and then I'm mad because I missed it. But I am going to unmute you guys so we can finish this discussion. So, okay, so I got you both unmuted. Any other questions or comments? Because that is how you're going to do this. The $50 a day will continue until you get rid of the unpaid interest. And at that point, it really is a race against time. And every time you are able to make a $51 payment, your principal balance is going to go down. And then the next day, your unpaid interest won't be $50. It'll be $49, which means the next day you get $2 that go towards your principal balance.
Okay. So the reason why I wanted to, sit with you and speak to you is because I don't know that I want to make this a priority. And the reason why I say that is not because I can't, because I have about, I don't know, Abby, like what, $5,000 in extra funds a monthly. And I, I'm considering maybe the best course of action would be to figure out a way to multiply that money rather than use it to pay off student loans.
Okay, so why are we having this conversation? Because that's what I do, is help people pay off student loans.
Well, we wanted to talk to see, like basically what that means. Like it's an idea. It's not that I have completely counted out paying the student loans. It's just the concern was that I wasn't going to be able to do this prior to the repayment plan expiring. So it'd be basically, by the time I'm done paying off these loans, they would have basically discharged the remaining amounts, and I would just have to pay. It would just be a tax burden.
No, it doesn't work that way, because these are federal student loans. You don't get to discharge them. They don't go away. The only way to get out of student loans is to literally pay them off, or they go away if you are disabled or you pass away. You don't get to discharge them. When the term expires, then they will begin to garnish your wages and your tax returns.
So the way how they explained it to me, based on the income-based repayment plan, was that you make a set amount of payments based on what they require you to make, your monthly payments, and those count as qualifying payments. And once you make
okay, I'm sorry. So that is technically not an income-based repayment plan. That is a loan forgiveness plan.
So it's on an income basis. It's called a pay as you earn.
Yes, I understand. But so basically you are running two tracks right now. You are running an income-based repayment plan inside of a loan forgiveness plan.
Okay, so how should it, because I don't know. The reason why I don't know, I guess it by definition, based on what I just explained to you, be a loan forgiveness plan, but the name of the plan is pay, and pay as you earn, and that's the way that they explained it to me. I know loan forgiveness to be loan forgiveness, something else. Like you work for, you work for the federal government, and they forgive your loan after X amount of years of service. Right. But this I understood not to be called loan forgiveness, but to be called, a income-based repayment plan.
So the whole idea of income-based repayment is you have a set amount of time that you finish paying. So what I hear you saying is that it's going to be forgiven at the end of a set time period. That's what made me think that you were running the dual track of forgiveness as well as loan income-based repayment.
Okay, I see. I see what you're saying.
Okay, so if you have been given a timeline and they say at the end of 10 years, that is typically what the term is, then whatever is remaining, we will forgive. Is that the languaging that you heard?
Yes, that's the language.
Okay. So that program this is the second year, 2019 is the second year that those who did this in 2008 and 9 have been eligible for forgiveness. 2% of the loans that came into the program in 2008 and 2009 have actually been forgiven. So if you want to take a chance that you're going to be in a 2% window, that's where you are. But 98% of the people who applied for loan forgiveness in 2008 and 2009 have actually had their loans forgiven, which means all of the interest has accrued for 10 years and they're still responsible.
Those that don't fall within the 2%.
Those that don't fall within the 2%.
Do we know why they didn't?
So there are several, so there's a group of attorneys that's suing one servicer. The state of California is suing a different servicer. And basically they are saying that these servicers did not educate people well enough for them to know all of the T's that needed to be crossed and the I's that needed to be dotted to ensure that they could indeed be forgiven. Okay, and so it is comical how much they want to make sure you don't get forgiven. And so they are not interested in trying to help you get your loans forgiven. And all it takes is one step that you don't do in 10 years, you are no longer eligible. It doesn't have to be a pattern. It literally is one document that you didn't turn in, one day on a deadline missed, one signature signed in blue versus black. It is just one misstep and you will no longer be eligible for forgiveness. And that is the reason that only 2% have been able to get through. It's like the camel going through the eye of the needle type thing. It just has to be severely this way in order for you to get through. So on paper, it looks great. The execution is incredibly difficult to maintain. And if you have one misstep in that 10-year period, you will be responsible for repaying the loans. And so we don't recommend it. We didn't use it. We were eligible for it. And if we had used it, we would still have over $100,000 in debt today instead of being 2 years debt free.
Okay.
So you're gambling on someone else taking care of a debt that you owe. And there really is the deck is stacked against you. That might change in 3, 5, 7 years, but do you really want to take that chance? And in the meantime, you're choosing to take your cash and do something else with it when the reality is it's your debt. So you're transferring your debt to someone else so that you can have the luxury of your income that you borrowed to receive.